Cool one. No. All good?
Okay. We're rolling.
Yeah, ready?
Welcome everyone. We're on live broadcast here at Guinness World Records. Thanks everyone, thanks. We're live from Guinness World Records headquarters here in London with Lisa and Chris Pitman, who are professional Taekwondo instructors and record breakers. As you can see, they enjoy breaking records as well as breaking tiles. And they hold several Guinness World Records titles. Lisa holds the record for the fastest time to break 1,000 roof tiles. Chris holds the fastest time to break 1,000 roof tiles in the male category. And Lisa also holds the record for the most roof tiles broken in 1 minute. Okay, and your questions are very welcome. If you've got any questions and you're watching at home, let us know and give us a shout, and we'll forward your questions to the guys here, and we'll also be doing some more demonstrations. Okay, guys, could you tell us how this all began? How did you first get to the point where you thought you could be in with a chance of attempting a Guinness World Records title?
Okay, so I've been doing Taekwondo, so martial arts, for 28 years. And I'm world champion in power breaking, also multiple European champion as well. And it was always in the back of my mind that I would love to one day be a Guinness World Record holder. Then 6 years ago I met Chris, my perfect match, who could stand up to my strength because he's very strong too. And I kind of got him into Taekwondo. He used to be into rugby before that, doing a very different job to teaching Taekwondo. And basically got him smashing stuff with me. We did a demonstration at one of our clubs, and one of the parents said, "Why don't you guys do a Guinness World Record?" So here we are.
Fantastic. And you've been on loads of TV all around the world, haven't you? And you've been on TV here in the UK as well as on our Italian show, the Lo Show Day record. And so, what was your last record attempt that you did on television?
So that was the Lo Show Day record. So that was the 923 tiles in a minute. So it was amazing.
923 tiles. Thanks for the microphone, Matt. Hopefully you were able to hear all of that, but if not, we're starting again. So how has holding Guinness World Records titles helped your career development and your schools? Has it kind of brought people to you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a really good advertising tool anyway. You know, it's we sort of stick it on our van, and you know, everybody knows us for the guys that break the tiles and the wood and the bricks and stuff. You know, so it's quite cool, and it's good for the school. You know, the little ones sort of look up to us and go, when I get older, you know, and I'm going to do 2,000 tiles along. So it's quite cool. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
And I think kind of what makes it unique as well is that we're, you know, a married couple, kind of doing the same thing. I think it's very unique to have a male and female kind of doing this sort of crazy thing. You find kind of men can do this, but I don't know a lot of women that can smash stuff like me. Any challenges out there?
And how did you first become aware that you had that kind of strength and you were able to do kind of martial arts?
Well, I started Taekwondo when I was 15, and I remember being a white belt and my instructor saying, "Come on, let's get you having a go at the board breaking," because I was a bit chunkier than the rest of the other people there. And you sort of put the boards up, and you know, I was just smashing through them, which is kind of very unique. So then by the time I got to black belt, started competing, I sort of became unbeatable in the power breaking side of things. So
that's what it's categorised as, power break.
Power breaking, yeah.
Okay. And on that subject, maybe it's time to possibly have another demonstration of some power breaking, if that's okay with you guys. There's a lot of tiles right here.
Yeah, not many women use their fist. Blood's good.
Okay, Chris steps up. That is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Are you guys friends with a local roofer? Is it?
Believe it or not, all of our record attempts have been sponsored. We've been very fortunate to have people sponsoring us. So
okay. So
Yes.
you must get through a fair amount of tiles when you're practicing as well.
I would say over the last 3 to 4 years, we've probably smashed 8,000
Well, I
tiles.
think we
possibly.
did try and do the sums, and it was
Yeah,
coming
it's
up
probably
towards the
about
tens of thousands.
8,000.
You know, so, yeah.
How many roofs do you think you've got through?
Streets, we're in
Quite a
streets, I
few.
think.
We're not popular with the neighbours. That's true.
Well, guys, if you've got any questions, just to reiterate, we're here live in London with our record holders, Lisa and Chris Pitman. Lisa and Chris are professional Taekwondo instructors who hold several Guinness World Records titles for breaking roof tiles with their hands. They're in training right now for most pine boards broken in 1 minute. They've appeared on TV many times in Europe and on here in the UK. They've also been on Britain's Got Talent as well.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, they asked us to go on there. We, sort of made it very clear we don't sing, we don't dance, we smash stuff.
We can.
We
It's
can,
just-
but
it's not
badly.
good luck. But it was their 10th anniversary, so it was 1,000 tiles in the shape of a number 10, which was quite cool. You know.
lovely.
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah,
do.
so auditioning for that was just an experience in itself, because meeting Anton Deck, then you're standing up in front of Simon Cowell, David Williams, and it was, just absolutely mind-blowing, just the best experience ever. So they should have chose us to go through, though, definitely.
You should have been the winners, I think.
you're right.
Yeah. I
We
can't
smash a house down, actually. So.
Can't think of anything else I'd rather watch on Britain's Got Talent, to be honest. All the singing gets a little bit tired after a while.
The dogs and the singers, and they need some tile smashing people.
So, can you give us just a kind of a day in the life kind of experience of you guys, how you go through your daily routine of training, especially for record attempts, but also how do you what's the kind of the day-to-day life of a Taekwondo instructor?
Lots of teaching
busy.
and training, and very busy. So, I mean, we teach very late in the evening, so we don't get up very early in the mornings. We're a bit kind of sleepy with that. But by the time we do get up and get going, we kind of do our own training ready for, any kind of record attempts or just general training anyway. And, I mean, we don't really go down the gym, but say we go out like running, and we've got our own van which has lots of equipment in it where we use, to do a lot of power training.
Okay.
And kind of, endurance as well, of course. So, and then we go teaching in the evenings, inspiring young people, and I shouldn't say old people, because that's older people, more mature people.
Yeah.
That, like Chris was saying, a lot of our little kids are like, oh, we want to be Guinness World Record holders, and that, that's a brilliant thing to do. And I think it's just kind of, it ticks outside the box. We're not average people that get up, put a suit on, go to work. We actually get up and we do smash things during the day. And for breakfast, 2 tiles.
Oh, lovely.
With milk.
yeah. But it's very different, with the, as you say, we're in training now for the wood, which is a very different thing
experience,
to this.
yeah.
It's, I mean, this is the problem with these. They're sharp.
They are. They do
So
seem to be rather
Yeah.
sharp.
where you have to condition your bones is what's important.
And
The
that's why I was
surface
going to say,
cut
you can
is
see
okay,
here.
It's
So you have the
Yeah.
protection, because when you're doing, hundreds or thousands, it's kind of, you need to.
shred your hands to
We've
pieces.
got lots of scars and
obviously with the wood,
injuries.
that's a lot different, which we'll demonstrate after.
Yeah.
She's
Because it's
looking
not
at you.
sharp, of course, but it breaks in a very, very different way.
Ah, we've got a question.
Questions from the audience.
Okay.
Abubakar Goraya asking, what did you feel when you first broke a title?
It's the most, I've experienced breaking, being a world champion in Taekwondo and European champion. I have to say the Guinness World Record title, I don't know, just kind of made me feel so much happier. Don't get me wrong, I'm very, happy with those achievements. But I think because Guinness World Record is actually worldwide rather than just Taekwondo, it just makes it that much more of an achievement. So
You hear it every day, don't you? Somebody saying, "Oh, I'm a world champion in X, Y, and Z."
tiddlywinks.
But is it the world champion in an organisation which holds 12 people or 100 people?
Right.
Which is very different with Guinness. You know that is legitimately worldwide, and you can go anywhere in the world and say, Guinness World Records. Different
And
thing.
everybody knows,
completely
yeah.
different thing. But
Yeah.
of course, our journey was our first Guinness World Record that we attempted, not really knowing what we were letting ourselves in for, which we both were unsuccessful at. we ran out of tiles actually, so we were trying to break 1,000 tiles.
So that was the first attempt. It wasn't successful because you ran out of tiles.
Just set up, not knowing that some you don't break.
Practice with 1,000, it's too much. You know, your body can't stand up to it. You know, so.
But we did both end up in A&E. Like,
Oh no!
but no bones were
hilarious.
broken.
No bones
bones
at all,
were
just cuts.
no, yeah. Well, just
scarring
yeah. And then
bruising
once
up.
we healed up, we
So
were
it was early
stronger
evening,
than
we
ever.
walked
Yeah.
into A&E full suits on and then blood everywhere.
What have you done to yourselves? Goodness me! The NHS has to carry the burden of that one.
Pay our taxes.
Yes, of course. So maybe any other questions from the audience at this stage, Cecile?
Yeah, same person was asking, how long have you guys been training?
So for me, I've been training 28 years, and
I've been training for 6 years. So there's a funny story attached to how this all
Yes.
started, of course.
so we met 6 years ago. Chris was living in Wales, and I was in England, and he dropped everything to come and live with me in England because we fell in love. So knowing that we were
So we
going to
met
be
in
the world's
Butlins.
most powerful.
Wonderful. It's a great place to meet.
romantic.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, that's wonderful. The power couple, as you've been described.
the world's
Yeah.
most powerful couple.
Okay, so we're going to clear some stuff out of the way now to avoid any kind of foot injuries, and we're going to attempt some pine board smashing, I believe. Now, this is the nature of record breaking. It can sometimes get a little bit messy. Okay, thanks, guys. Right. Now, just to remind you, we're here at Guinness World Records headquarters here in London. We're very pleased to welcome Lisa and Chris Pitman, multiple record holders, Taekwondo instructors. They hold the record titles for the fastest time to break 1,000 roof tiles in both the male and female category, and Lisa holds the record for the most roof tiles broken in 1 minute. And they're currently in training for the most pine boards broken in 1 minute, which is something they're going to demonstrate right now.
We won't actually, on the record attempt, be breaking them how we're going to do it now, but we're just showing you varieties of how you can break pine boards. So we're going to use our hands and feet.
Okay.
So we're not using the same technique.
So you're going to do reverse knife on
Yeah,
them?
yeah. Cool. Yep. So this is using the reverse knife hand.
Okay. Okay.
It's like we can't fail.
So this would be just, so we got the reverse and then knife hand this direction here. Just gonna tip it.
Wow.
Can we do a couple with our feet?
Yeah, fantastic.
Side kick.
So I got the ring here.
Whoa.
Nice.
So now we're going to use a ball of foot to kick.
Don't worry. We should have thought of that.
Okay. There is another TV series, I think.
Can you think about the TV?
You know what? We should have thought of that. But this is a live broadcast, and as you can see, we've had a bit of an accident.
We'll buy you a new one.
Don't worry. Okay, so just to reiterate, we're live from Guinness World Records headquarters here in London, and we've just had a little demonstration of pine board breaking and television breaking as well. It's an added skill.
Most powerful couple is,
Yes, we've had a small accident, but Just to remind you, Lisa and Chris are professional Taekwondo instructors, record breakers who hold several Guinness World Records titles for breaking roof tiles with their hands, and they're practicing right now for the pine board record. They've appeared on TV many times in Europe, and they featured on Britain's Got Talent. Your questions are very welcome. Cecile, do we have any questions for Chris and Lisa?
We don't have so many questions, but we got lots of support. People saying you're amazing, women power, you make breaking ties look so easy. So lots of love from Facebook.
Excellent. Okay.
We got Rob asking if Dan could have a go maybe at breaking a piece of wood.
I think I'd probably have to avoid that. And it's all broken anyway now. Oh no, there's one left. So, have you ever considered, other than the pine boards attempt, have you considered any other record attempts that you'd like to do?
We do. We're
always looking through the book.
It has to be some type of breaking thing for us that theme continues. You know.
Right,
but
right.
We're forever looking at different ones to try. Yeah. So there's a couple of things in the pipeline.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't want to reveal too much at this stage.
No, I think we get the pine boards done first.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
Fair
can,
enough. Yeah.
move on.
Don't want to show your hand just yet.
No.
We want to hold the most world records for breaking stuff. That would be good.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
And have you met any other Guinness World Records title holders during your time as appearing on these various TV shows?
We have. I mean, in Italy, on that low show de record, that was just the most amazing experience. Because when we got off the Guinness World Record minibus, and they said to us, "Oh, we're going check out the tiles, make sure it's the right thing." And then the guy next to us was saying to the other Guinness World Record holder, "Oh, we're going to go and have a look at the hamburgers to check that they're okay." We were like, "Tiles, hamburgers." So that was Kobe, the fastest eating guy.
Ah, right. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
from
so we've met some. We met the most modified couple.
Yeah. Most tattooed person.
The guy, is it the Space Cowboy? He swallows the. Oh, he's incredible.
Shane Holtgren.
Yeah,
Yes,
he did
from
that.
Australia.
We partied with him afterwards, and it was really cool. He was showing us some other crazy stuff that he does. You know, just with his mind and everything, and twisting spoons, and to actually see it for real is just incredible. So
Shane's actually one of our hosts on our Facebook Live broadcast as well. So he does broadcast now and then from Australia, showing off all the latest things that he's been practicing. And yeah, so if you're watching,
is a man and wife that hold the same world record.
right.
In male and female category, of course.
So that's quite unique.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
We
maybe
don't
you
know,
guys know
yeah.
more about that. But
We
We'll have to check with our MT.
Yeah. We mean for the power breaking stuff.
Okay.
So that would be interesting to find out. And we would love to do a record that's joint,
Yeah, a couple.
but Guinness keeps saying no. But maybe they might say yes.
They're so strict. Our records managers are very, very strict indeed. They're not easily persuaded. But okay, well, if I'd like to open it out to the floor. Oh, actually, Cecile, I believe we've got a question from Facebook.
So we got a question from Facebook from Danashri Walter. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Asking, how do you guys make yourself so strong? Because they also do Taekwondo, but they can't break ties. So how did you guys get to that point?
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, first and foremost, the safety aspect of it is a lot of conditioning with your bones, because the first thing you're going to break is your bones.
Yeah.
It's, you've just got to keep going. With our 1,000 tiles, I think we were conditioning for 12 months probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Just trees, anything, So when we went for the X-ray, actually after, we had this amazing comment from the from the lady.
So the woman said either she's got the wrong X-ray or my hands are made of iron, because she couldn't believe there were no broken bones.
Really?
Yeah, so she was just absolute, and she put her wages on it
Yeah,
before
she
we
said,
went
"I
in.
put
She
my
went,
wages on."
"You've broken both your hands in several places,"
Clown hands.
and then came out and she was like, "That's someone else's X-ray, or you got iron hands." It was
So
just
is it just about the amount of time that you spend hitting
Yeah.
something and
yes,
your bones
conditioning.
become
Yeah,
stronger?
I mean your
First
skin
and-
is a
yeah,
bit
first and
difficult
foremost,
to,
yeah.
with the tiles to condition, but again you just get used to that. I've got lots of scars on my
if you guys
hands.
can come in here, you can see some of Lisa's scars on her hands where she's been attempting a lot of the roof tiles are especially sharp.
That's the problem with the roof tiles.
Yeah.
The sharpness is different. With the wood, it's very different. It's
But you also get a massive buzz from it as well, and it's just that satisfaction of smashing something. Because I think all our lives we're told we're not allowed to break things, and so just that satisfaction of doing that and not getting into trouble for it. Yeah.
You won't get into trouble for this, but we will.
it's a really same lines, you know, it's choosing the right tool to break with, you know.
Right.
It's depends what you're breaking as to
And
what tool you use, you know. It's,
massive
there's 5, 6
self-belief as
parts of the
well.
hand,
So
well,
massive
absolutely.
self-belief. So if you have any element of doubt whatsoever, then these guys here are going to win, absolutely, and they could do some serious damage. And we've seen people do some serious damage to themselves. So whenever we do power breaking in our classes, you know, we say to people, you have to listen to us, because, you know, if you don't break the board is going to break you, and that really can happen sometimes. So it's don't try this at home.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, is it? It's, we
Good
do
point.
power breaking seminars, you know, and it's just not for everybody, you know. You have men my size trying it, and you know, nothing. It's
Well, I'd like to see if there's any questions in the room from our guys here in Guinness World Records headquarters. Craig has got a question.
What is the worst damage you've done to yourself?
I think for
what?
I think for me it was when we were on so our first world record attempt for the 1,000 tiles, we both failed. The second one, Chris, we did it on Blue Peter. Chris was successful, I wasn't, which was actually a massive thing for me, because I've been doing Taekwondo for 28 years, and you know, he wasn't even a black belt back then, and so for me that was pretty soul destroying. But we went back to the sort of drawing board, you know, trained again, and then we were on BBC Breakfast TV, and I got severely cut during that, and actually I had a kind of big gash in my arm.
I was watching that as it was on. I was watching that. There was a lot of blood.
It was good. They looked good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. So and then afterwards I'm
worrying,
like,
actually.
yeah, amazing. So yeah.
When you see the broadcast, when you see the 1,000 tile attempts and 923 is the record,
Yes.
right? When you actually see that, I remember seeing Chris come out and give you a hug and just
Yes.
hold you up at the
Yeah.
end, because it's just
'Cause
so
again,
draining.
The amount of energy you're using is like, well, it's difficult
It's
to
you know,
explain
it's
it, you know.
a
Because
day's
you're not
worth of
travelling,
energy
you're
in
also,
a minute,
you know,
and
smashing stuff as well.
straight out the party.
You've got timing to take into consideration, you know, because you get a lot of comments, especially from people that do martial arts, saying, oh, well, that looks easy. And I always say, well, then
they all look
you
easy,
do it and show me.
Yeah.
Because I believe there's, you know, a lot of men that kind of criticise me, and I say, well, it's probably because you feel a bit threatened because I can actually break more tiles or wood than you can. But don't feel threatened by that. It's just, I was born powerful.
But I think, as we were saying earlier, you know what you're doing. Know my worst damage, stupid. We were at a fete
Oh, yeah.
and just breaking 10 tiles each, which is, you know, a walk in the park, really. Not thought about anything. Boom. I must have lost 10 pints of blood.
But you actually
Unbelievable.
broke your hand as well, didn't
broke
you?
my hand,
Oh,
but
dear.
on one stack of tiles, you know.
Yeah.
So did you get a big cheer?
Well, actually, some guy went, your hand is bleeding. Oh, it always...
It's fine.
Oh, dear.
It was boring, though. Yeah. But just lack of preparation, you know, just, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And it is weird because you don't feel the pain either. So
don't
when,
feel
when
it until
no,
afterwards.
Just the
till
sharp-
afterwards,
just
yeah,
the
yeah,
sharp,
yeah,
it's
till
so
after.
sharp,
But
yeah.
say doing this now is nothing. And again, I think we've conditioned ourselves so much now that it takes a lot now to, you know, injure ourselves or feel really the impact from it. So probably when we're about 90 and we're like this, that's when we're going to feel the pain.
But
Notice I said 90.
The broken hand was actually when the tiles are here.
Yeah.
Was
You hit the floor.
Oh, so you
hit
didn't
the
break them on the
concrete,
tiles, it was the concrete.
straight through the,
Yeah.
But again, you can hit them too hard. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I'd like to say a very big thank you to Chris and Lisa Pitman for coming in today, joining us for our live broadcast, which has gone out on YouTube and Facebook. And also a big thanks to our team here at Guinness World Records for joining us in the audience. And thank you to you at home for watching. And we'll see you again next time.
Sorry about the TV.
Yeah.
But we've had a brilliant time
Yeah.
because we smashed stuff and everyone was watching us. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Great. Love
We-
it.
Thanks, everyone.